Hello beautiful people and welcome to an absolute amazing episode in which we're gonna test Binary versus Nelle. But guess what? We're gonna test these two heroes versus each other in two ways. So, since you obviously see now on the screen that I have this hero at 5 stars and with the level 5, yes, one of the tests would be with all these toys on. So, we are talking about the offensive Valhalla units, we are talking about the formation, we are talking about the heavy trooper, we are talking about the Titan gear and the runes, so all the toys on them. We're gonna test to see where is the difference between Binary and Nelle, and then we're gonna do another test for a special reason. Because we're gonna go also in the hero trial, because I'm gonna show you 10 attacks in which Binary will defend versus Nelle, and another 10 attacks in which I'm gonna show you Binary being the attacker while Nelle is gonna be the defender. And we wanna have a look at these numbers, and the special reason is absolutely simple, because a lot of you guys don't trust the results of the hero trial to be that accurate. And I would like to highlight specifically here one special viewer of our channel, which is Mr. Frank D. So yes, Frankie, this episode is not just only for my curiosity, but also for your curiosity. And hold on to your seats, people, because the testing's starting now. And you know what? This is the best moment right now to actually pause the video and take a piece of paper and write down right now what are your expectations to be when it comes down to the difference in hero testing from the hero trial versus the reality in which we have all the toys on. And now, let's have a look at the hero trial first, because we're going to put that on the screen. So, first of all, I'm going to show you these results, 10 attacks in which Binary is defending, and after that is the opposite. Binary is going to attack. So, let's keep this on the screen. And let me add the numbers. So what are you seeing here is the average performance. Now, since Nelle is the attacker, that means all these results are from her point of view. Meaning, in other words, you see a lot of minus results. Meaning, in other words, yes, Binary won. And these numbers are to be understood as follow. So on plot number 1, that's minus 38 means the worst performance possible in which Binary defending still had 38% of units left alive, and the best performance possible is actually when Nelle succeeded to win, still having 38% of units left alive. So actually in this case, from 10 attacks, in 2 attacks, Nelle succeeded to win as attacker. But now, let's switch and have a look at this possibility in which Binary is going to be the attacker and Nelle has to defend. And let me put now also again the numbers on the screen. And this time the numbers are to be seen from Binary's perspective, meaning in other words, the negative results, just the 2 of them, means that actually Nelle defending succeeded to win. And again, on slot number 1, you see the worst performance possible in which Nelle defending actually won with still 11% units left alive, while the best performance possible is in which Binary obviously won, still having 59% of units left alive. So these are the 2 average, and these 2 numbers, it's a big difference between them. Then obviously, of course, the more battle results would we have, the more accurate these numbers would be. But from this hero trial testing right now, you would say, wow, from the level 5 perspective, definitely Binary is far better than Nelle. Well, is that the reality, beautiful people? Let's have a look. Because now we're gonna jump into real life testing, and for that I actually use the track heist. And I have found a player in which I was able to conclude 20 attacks with Marvik, Willy and Nelle, and 20 attacks with Marvik, Willy and Binary. And we're gonna have a look where is the difference. So just for your curiosity, as I said, we're gonna use the heavy trooper, we're gonna use even the Valhalla offense units, and I will always gonna be the attacker. The goal is here not to win, because then I don't have that many tries anymore in the truck event. So let's have a look at the setup. So my opponent right here, a huge shout out for you, buddy. I would call out your name, but sadly I cannot read that. So this person has a pole level 7, Snake Eyes with a level 5, and it's a striker with level 5. So what am I having here is Marvy with a level 5, Quilly with a level 5, and obviously Binary with level 5. Now this is the gear, and yes indeed I have golden gear for my tanks. This is basically for my secondary march, but what's important to highlight here is absolutely simple, that in this testing, this is the gear setup for Binary, and exactly this set is gonna be switched to Nelle. And just have a look a second at the runes which I have equipped. So I have a magnetic field in here. I have one magnetize in here. On Quilly I also have a magnetic field and also magnetize, and guess what? Also a magnetic field on Binary. Okay, so let's have a look at the Heavy Trooper, because again this is the Heavy Trooper setup for my second tank march, like this. Obviously I have better set, but yeah, the last thing is to be mentioned, of course, obviously we have the perks on. And yeah, just in case you are curious, we can also have a look at the stats. Granted, I have a far higher damage increase on my main march, and we can also have a look at the DEF just for your curiosity. But again, important here is that the opponent remains the same while I'm switching between Binary and Nelle. So since we have this setup now on the screen, let's put the actually numbers from 20 attacks. And I'm also going to explain you how to understand these numbers. So here are the 20 battery ports. And how should you read this number? Now on the position number 1 is actually the best performance possible, in which my opponent still had 58% of his units left alive, while on rank 20 is obviously the worst performance possible, which is when my opponent still had 85% of units left alive. So in all these attacks, my opponent will always gonna win. So the average performance here is 72% March performance, aka the amount of units left alive on my opponent. So that's this setup over here. But now let's go and see how Nelle does with Marvy and Quilly. So here we go. This is the same setup, and for the sake of mentioning, obviously we're gonna go into the attributes, and I'm gonna show that's basically the same gear on Nelle. And obviously again Nelle has the perks, and you can obviously have a look again at the stats. So now let's pull this setup and put the numbers on the screen. So again, the best performance possible in here with Nelle is when my opponent still had 62% of units left alive, while the worst performance possible you find it on rank 20 when my opponent still had 84 of units left alive. And that brings us to an average of 74% of units left on my opponent. So putting now these two results side to side, what exactly do you see? You see a very small difference between Nelle with level 5 and Binary with level 5. And honestly, beautiful people, I won't lie to you, this indeed fulfills my expectations. Why? Obviously, I think that from the level 7 perspective, Binary will be stronger than Nelle. That's what I'm expecting. I was actually expecting a very close race. Now, you know what, people? For those of you with the right reason saying that the hero trial, it's fine, but is not to be trusted, one of them being again Mr. Frank D, let's put the under numbers on the screen, because this is also the goal of this episode, to highlight the difference between the reality and the hero trial, to draw the conclusion. Because yeah, have a look at the numbers, because the hero trial tells us absolutely clear that the Binary with level 5 exclusive skill versus Nelle level 5, no matter how you spin this, Binary defending or Binary attacking, Binary is super better than Nelle, and that's not the entire truth. So beautiful people, what's the conclusion here? I will do at one point another video on the tank meta. Obviously, you guys know by now that this magnetic pulse meta is actually the best. But that doesn't automatically mean that people running around with an offense buffing hero like Mr. Po, with a hero with indestructible buff like Marvy, like Striker for example, and a support hero like Leon or Mr. Snake Eyes, it doesn't mean that this setup is absolutely bad, because again, we have the runes and the other toys, and with a little bit of luck, especially at the beginning of the battle, you definitely can get awesome results. Because the difference between these two tank setups, dear beautiful people, it's basically entirely 3 different heroes. So my suggestion and recommendation basically to everybody out there is obviously take advantage of the lucky treasure. Go in there, watch the video, you get 1 fragment for free, and then make sure you get another 9 of them with gems. It's absolutely the best idea possible. You're never gonna know when you're gonna need this hero, but if you have Nelle right now with 5 stars and a level 5, I would not change it with binary. Also, if you are running this setup with Poe, Striker, and Mr. Leon or Snake Eyes, for example, I wouldn't bring binary to level 5 exclusive skill and 5 stars either, because again, I have mentioned a couple of seconds ago, a true transformation from the magnetic pole setup and the other tank meta implies that you change all 3 heroes. So definitely unlock this hero, have it unlocked right now with gems, it's a great idea. Okay, so beautiful people, now I hope a couple of you guys actually at the beginning of the video actually stopped the video to write down on a piece of paper saying, okay, I'm expecting no difference between these 2 testing possibilities, or I'm expecting a bigger difference. I'm super curious to see what you guys are gonna tell us in the comments, and obviously I hope this work helps you guys to take a decision on this hero, which is a fantastic one, by the way. And of course, what's left for me is to say in this episode is 1, yes, I'm gonna do a separate video when it comes down to the proc rate between binary and Nelle, and obviously you know how I think. I always test this hero again from the proc perspective Fridays and the week after that in order to see if River Game find it necessary to slightly tune down Nelle. And from my perspective, if the developers' goal was indeed to bring an alternative to Nelle, at least from the level 5 perspective, I must tell you, congratulations River Game, no irony here, it's a very well done work because these heroes are super close to each other. It's simply an alternative. So beautiful people, don't forget to support what supports you back, because that's 100% free. Meaning in other words, subscribe to this channel. Obviously, I think you still find a solid value and solid information by watching my videos till the end. Share this channel with your friends. Thank you very much for watching, and I will gonna catch you in the next awesome episode. Ciao, 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 people.